the ones that are under attack are because they've said something out of place, maybe in a pub, whatever, right? As for political stance, it doesn't really matter. No, you're right. However, the majority of it is coming from that direction, and there's a reason for that. It's because of who's behind it. There is other reasons for that, but majority-wise, it's for the kids that they're going for. If most people are attacked when they've got kids. The reason being for that is it is part of the child trafficking network. Now, what I discovered going back in 2014 when I put Wireshark on my network, and I'm quite technical.
I know skills. That. Yeah.
And I monitored my network for a week, and I found that it was over 100 IP addresses broadcasting to the darknet to pay-per-view paedophile sites. Now, I had 3 kids.
TikTok friendly words, mate.
Yeah, careful with the kids. Yeah.
Oh shit! Sorry. Well, so they were going to these sites. I'm sorry, really sorry.
I know Wireshark.
They were going to these sites. Yeah. Now, obviously, the police ain't going to listen because of the structure of who's running it. Obviously, we went through all the shebang and all that, and all it did was brought a knock on the door, right, from social services. And pretty much what the aim is, as you all probably know, you probably all got to this point now, is you can end up isolating yourself, yeah?
Yeah.
Because you think everybody's involved. Well, this is the reason that is because they've done 6 months recon on you, they've gone through your Facebook, they've hacked into your devices, they've watched every move you make, they watch your GPS on your phone, everywhere you go, where you frequent, everywhere you're likely to go, the routes you take, everything. That's why you'll see people on the routes everywhere you go. And the only reason that is there's not as many as you think, but there can be up to, if there's more than 100 people involved in one day, that means there's 2 teams.
Yes,
that's right. 2 teams, and they'll come from another town. It is funded, and it's privately funded. But they have handlers in intelligence, which we have links from the evidence we've gone through. I'm working with an ex-police officer, by the way. You may know him, Gary Waterman. I'm also working with another lad that's actually building these devices to do demos, so we can go to the police.
Right.
Like I say, we're quite in the intelligence, and we also work with Anonymous as well. So we do know what this network is now, and it's running on the IoT network, the Helium IoT network.
Oh, right.
Anyone familiar with that?
A little bit.
Right. So what it is, well, our Helium IoT network, you also have heard the Hive network, IoT stuff. Everyone's got the Hive in their houses with new boilers, yeah?
Right.
Right, so you'll be very surprised to understand that how they're hacking you is actually through your smart meters.
Yes.
Yeah, because they carry their own SIM card. Yeah. Not necessarily though, but the other evidence we've got in the companies we've linked to this. Now we've linked numerous private security companies to these, right? And also make the internet better again. Internet companies, if you like. Now that's where the far left element's coming in, but they're funded by George Soros, unfortunately, guys.
Yeah, I had a.
That's why there's a majority on that side, because a lot of these are what you'd call screamers, if you like, SJW types. I think the injustice, right? Anyone that's not as them is guilty of everything. So that's unfortunate. But the trouble is with them as well. They're also linked to the social services and the schools.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's all you've got to remember. It's not always there is incidences of where you maybe just put on a list because someone didn't like you and they're involved in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is always that can always happen, but the majority of the cases we've found are people with children. So if you understand how the social services work is and how corrupt they actually are, and what they're actually doing is they are trafficking children. That is now a fact. We've got the evidence on that.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
That's going to be coming down. So what they're doing is they're using these private-run security companies. Now, if anyone knows anything about private-run security companies, they'll also know that they're all ex-gangsters, pub racketers, and protection rackets.
I've heard of that too. Yeah.
So they're tied to the military. Now we've also found links to the Sicilian mafia in this. right? This is kind of hard to swallow because it's very personal how they make it, yeah?
Yes.
And it's hard to understand that for everyone, the reason they do it is the whole point of the psychological operation is for you not to know where it's coming from. So you're always guessing, you're always blaming people closest to you because they'll do something very familiar to you personally, but what they're doing, they're copying other people that are close to you. So they're making it look like they. So when you notice this, you picked up on subconscious, and then eventually you're noticing them doing it because they're making you aware of it. Then you'll see someone in your family do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? And then automatically your brain goes into overdrive, and that's the whole point. They'll make you sensitive to colours, certain colours as well. They'll make noises at specific times. I have an hourly patrol every hour on the hour that walks past my house. But the point of this is the majority of it is about the children and trafficking the children. So what they're doing is the families is they're setting this off on the men predominantly, so that they look like they're absolutely crazy. They're more likely to get aggressive, stuff like that. Yeah, and then when the social services do come knocking, they've got an easy way of separating the parents. Now it's all about isolating the mother with the kids. On most of these, I won't say all of them because there is absolutely loads of people out there that have got no kids, but they may have know something they don't know they know. Been in a certain job, ex-military are specifically targeted. Absolutely are, and this is a part of the wider agenda that I think you were talking about earlier. If there was to be a revolution or a civil war, who would be leading the people?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ex-military. Where are all the ex-military? All nuts, all suicidal, and they're all living on the streets or committing suicide. You know what I mean? Or they're alcoholics. They took away the leadership.